Hello, this is Krista here back at you again today, and I'm a little off center, but I'm going to keep going on this. Today I'm going to continue with what I was talking about, which is 12 manipulation tactics of narcissistic abusers, daytime stories, this time part 2. We're going to go on to number 9. Narcissists preemptively, again, I'm not sure what that word is, do anything they perceive as a threat to their superiority out of proportion. In their world, only they can ever be right, and anyone who dares to say otherwise creates a narc injury that results in narc rage. Narc rage does not result from low self-esteem, but rather a high sense of entitlement and false sense of superiority. The lowest of the low resort to narc rage in the form of name-calling when they can't think of a better way to manipulate opinion or micromanage your emotions. Name calling is a quick and easy way to put you down, degrade you, and insult your intelligence, appearance, or behavior, while invalidating your right to be a separate person with a right to his or her perspective. Name calling can also be used to criticize your beliefs, opinions, and insights. A well-researched perspective or informed opinion suddenly becomes silly or idiotic in the hands of a malignant narc or sos who feels threatened by it and cannot make a respectful, convincing rebuttal. Rather than target in arguments, they target you as a person and seek to undermine your credibility and intelligence in any way they possibly can. The help here is, it's important to end any interaction that consists of name-calling and communication that you won't tolerate it. Don't internalize it. Realize that they are resorting to name-calling because they are deficient in higher-level methods. Number 10. Destructive conditioning. Toxic people condition you to associate your strengths, talents, and happy memories with abuse, frustrations, and disrespect. They do this by sneaking in covert and overt put-downs about qualities and traits they once idealized, as well as sabotaging your goals, ruining celebrations, vacations, and holidays. They may even isolate you from your friends and family and make you financially dependent on them. Like Pavlov's dog, you're essentially trained over time to become afraid of doing the very things that once made your life fulfilling. Narc, pass, and sos, and other toxic people do this because they wish to divert attention back to themselves and how you're going to please them. Ugh. If there is anything outside of them that may threaten their control over your life, they seek to destroy it. They need to be the center of attention at all times. In this idealization phase, first phase of relationship with narc, which include idealization, love bombing to hook you like an addict with too much good attention, addicting you to majorly increased endorphins it creates. Then in second phase, devaluing, where they take it all away like coming down off a bad drug. Third phase, discarding, dumping, then repeats itself. Idealization phase, you were once the center of a narc's world, now the narc becomes the center of yours. Scary. Narcs are also naturally, pathologically envious and don't want anything to come in between them and their influence over you. Your happiness represents everything they feel they cannot have in their emotionally shallow lives. After all, if you learn that you can get validation, respect, and love from other sources besides the toxic person Excuse me. What's to keep you from leaving them? To toxic people, a little conditioning can go a long way to keep you walking on eggshells and falling just short of your big dreams. Number 11, smear campaigns and stalking. When toxic types can't control the way you see yourself, they start to control how others see you. They play the martyr while you're labeled the toxic one. A smear campaign is a preemptive strike to sabotage your reputation and slander your name so that you won't have a support network to fall back on lest you decide to detach and cut ties with this toxic person. They may even stalk and harass you or the people you know in a way to supposedly expose the truth about you. This exposure acts as a way to hide their abusive behavior while projecting it onto you. Some smear campaigns can even work to pit two people or two groups against each other. A victim in an abusive relationship with a narc often doesn't know what's being said about them during a relationship, but they eventually find out the falsehoods shortly after they've been discarded. Toxic people will gossip behind your back and in front of your face, slander you or your loved ones and their loved ones, create stories that depict you as the aggressor while they play the victim and claim that you engaged in the same behaviors that they are, afraid you will accuse them of engaging in. They will also methodically, covertly, and deliberately abuse you so they can use your reactions as a way to prove that they are the so-called victims of your abuse. The help here is the best way to handle a smear campaign is to stay mindful of your reactions and stick to the facts. This is especially pertinent for high conflict divorces with narcs who may use your reactions to their provocations against you. Document any form of harassment, cyberbullying, or stalking incidents and always speak to your narc through a lawyer whenever possible. You may wish to take legal action if you feel the stalking and harassment is getting out of control. Finding a lawyer who is well versed in narc personality disorder is crucial if that's the case. Your character and integrity will speak for itself when the narc's false mask begins to slip. Number 12. Love bombing and devaluation. First and second phases in relationship. The discard after the discard stage. Also, there can be hoovering if they leave, then come back. Baby, I'm sorry. Da da da. That's how I wrote it. Da da da. Toxic people put you through an idealization phase until you're sufficiently hooked and invested in beginning a friendship or relationship with you. They begin to devalue you while insulting the very things they admired in the first place. Another variation of this is when a toxic person puts you on a pedestal while aggressively devaluing and attacking someone else who threatens their sense of superiority. Narc abusers do this all the time. They devalue their exes to their new partners, and eventually the new partner starts to receive the same sort of mistreatment as the narc's ex-partner. Ultimately, what will happen is that you will also be on the receiving end of the same abuse. You will one day be the ex-partner they degrade to their new source of supply. You just don't know it yet. That's why it's important to stay mindful of the love bombing technique whenever you witness behavior that doesn't align with the saccharine sweetness a narc subjects you to. The help here, last but not least, is slowing things down with people you suspect may be toxic is an important way of combating the love bombing technique. Okay, so that's all I have written here in my notes that I found. And I'm sure I probably got this off of somewhere, so don't need to offend anybody if maybe I got this out of a book. But like I said, these are just daytime and bedside stories that I'm reading to you. So I find it kind of comforting to do, and I hope that you feel kind of comforted as well, gathering more information and preparation during this wonderful, crazy time of recovery, where hope is the definite point that we will reach one day in this whole abroad. So thank you for watching today, and may you find peace.